Have you ever felt like a doormat, that you're saying yes when you really mean no, or that you've crossed your own boundaries, and sometimes that comes with a lot of anger or resentment, or even shame? I've definitely felt the ick at myself thinking of some of the things I've tolerated in the past. So let's do some EFT tapping to release the patterns that make us do doormat things and reclaim our power. Even though I feel like a doormat, or that I sometimes do doormat things, people are stepping all over me, and I don't like that. But it's hard to say no, and I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though I sometimes cross my own boundaries or wishes, and I accept things that simply don't feel good. I deeply and completely love and accept myself. I'm tolerating stuff that feels like a big no. People are stepping all over me, and it makes me feel helpless, angry, and ashamed. I daydream and fantasize about doing the right thing or getting revenge. I fantasize about them begging for forgiveness when they realize the wrong they did me. But when it comes to actually setting boundaries, part of me just can't do it. Maybe I believe that if I say no, they will lose interest in me. Or that maybe if I try harder or if I'm very convenient, they will like me more and value me more. It sometimes feels like my worth only depends on whether or not they choose me. I'm afraid that if I put boundaries, that it will be too inconvenient and they will leave. It's as if I have to trade boundaries for crumbs of reassurance. I'm always or often saying yes, even when it hurts. Or maybe I'm waiting hours for a text instead of doing something I wanted to do. I'm putting plans on hold in case they text me. And often they don't. And I spend the whole day waiting. I'm constantly waiting for them to prioritize me or choose me. I'm doubting my own boundaries and pushing my needs aside because I'm afraid. I'm afraid they will be angry. I'm afraid they will be mad at me and move on to someone else. Whether that's a romantic partner or even my boss or colleagues. Maybe if I'm not hyper convenient with friends, they will pick other friends. It's as if part of me says, chasing and saying yes will win them over. Being convenient, nice, and agreeable will win them over. If only they get to spend more time with me, they'll finally understand how much they like me. So it doesn't feel safe to risk an opportunity to see them by making other plans or setting boundaries. But I'm feeling exhausted from always giving but never receiving back. I'm feeling helpless and out of control because no matter how much I try, it just never quite feels safe. And I'm done. Maybe it feels impossible to do what I want to do, to say what I want to say, but I'm also a little mad at being a doormat. And feeling angry is a positive surge of energy. And I can channel this energy into something useful and productive. I choose to reclaim some of my power now. Being nice and convenient has not really been a winning strategy for me. Romantic partners have not chosen me more or breadcrumbed me less. Or my boss or colleagues have not treated me better or promoted me. So I think I need to shift the energy and beliefs to bring a new reality to me. I deserve reciprocal love, effort, and respect. I'm becoming icked or grossed out by low effort people. I want to be treated like I treat others. I choose to say no. I choose to see how strong I am. Feeling helpless is a younger version of me who felt helpless. It's not me, the adult, who clicked on this YouTube video, choosing to make a change. I trust that the right person can meet me halfway. I choose to invest my energy into feeling how good that's going to be. How aligned it feels when someone makes as many efforts as I do. I no longer feel helpless because I can give myself love until I meet the right person. I give my inner child the safety they need. And that safety starts with no. It starts with boundaries and self-respect. It starts with showing my younger self that I will not let them be stepped on. And as I do that, I will notice something extraordinary. When I respect myself, even if I lose someone, the good feeling of respecting myself overpowers any pain of loss. And I don't know that because I haven't tried yet. But I'm open to being surprised at how good it feels to choose myself first. I trust that saying no to what is wrong finally opens the door to what is right. I'm done chasing love. I'm attracting respect by respecting myself first. I'm embodying and treating myself like I want others to treat me. I no longer have to sacrifice my boundaries to be chosen. No is a positive affirmation that brings great things. I choose people who choose me. Releasing the weight and pain of chasing people who don't give me things back. Releasing the misunderstandings that made me feel I had to be a doormat. I'm not interested in that anymore. I choose to claim my power back, effective immediately. Okay, take a deep breath in and breathe out. That's another one of the big realizations I had when I started to do inner child work. And by the way, years ago, I heard people talking about inner child work and I was like, that's not for me. Like, great for you if it works for you, but I kind of just felt icky about it. Flash news. Usually it means that you really need it. When you kind of feel resistant about a modality or something, it's usually because your ego is like, no, we're not going there because that's really needed. So long story short, I used to kind of think that inner child work wasn't for me. I used to be a hyper independent, highly performant and productive individual because that's the only way I thought I could receive love. So all of the inner child thing, kind of airy fairy hugging trees, even though I was already pretty woo woo, but that was not for me until it was. And what I realized is that, for example, when you're, let's say, in a situationship with someone who cannot give you love, or you have a work relationship that doesn't feel good, where a boss or a colleague is always asking for more and you're giving more, but they're never reciprocating, or maybe they're dangling a carrot saying basically, if you work extra hard this year and sacrifice all of your time, we'll give you a promotion, and it never actually happens. And we just feel that if we can prove to them that we're such a great employee, or if I can prove my low paying clients that I invest so much in them, then maybe they will invest more in me. It never works. And the thing that kept me stuck in these situationships is that the pain of separation, the pain of losing that person, even if I wasn't losing much, to be honest, felt so terrible that for me it was not worth having boundaries. It was easier or less painful for me to kind of be a doormat and tolerate a bunch of bullshit, excuse my language, rather than potentially lose the connection. But once I finally got to the stage where I had enough and I felt miserable and I was sick and tired of overanalyzing everything, and I talked with my inner child, and she was like, "Why are you constantly putting me in situation where I'm not chosen? You're like re-traumatizing me over and over again." And that was a really harsh wake-up call, a conversation between me and me, and that's when I decided stop. So long story short, I told that person that, if they didn't want a committed relationship, that was what I was looking for. So maybe what we wanted was not compatible and we can just go each our own ways. That was a tremendous effort. It was extremely hard. But the moment I did it, I felt so sensationally amazing because I advocated for myself and I didn't abandon myself. And of course, there was the loss of not being involved with that person anymore. But what really, really positively took me by surprise is that I thought that the pain of the loss would just be so overwhelming, and that's what we are afraid of, and that's why we keep being a doormat. But in fact, it didn't happen at all. I was so relieved and proud, and I felt love towards myself to have chosen me. And that feeling was way more powerful than the perceived loss. And I could actually move on way faster. And then each time I moved on, I upgraded my relationships until I found Mr. Right. The unwillingness to tolerate what didn't make me feel good, bit by bit, and it didn't happen overnight, eventually led me to meeting someone who was amazing. So I hope that this video was very helpful, and I will see you in the next one.